Wanted to make a quick video for you guys. There seems to be a theme throughout human history that there has been an interaction with spirits, whether they were referred to as ghosts or demons or that kind of thing. I think as our wisdom kind of clarifies as humanity, we're kind of able to step out of the purely supernatural and understand that there are other things going on, and that perhaps what we have is an interaction with a type of being that is parasitic. And through evolution, it has evolved the ability to interact mentally. It also seems to be not quite physical in the sense that it interacts with us. When we see it, it's ghost-like, but it's able to interact with our bodies in almost kind of a ghost-like way. It's not strictly hard physical matter. But I think the theme is parasitic. I think from what I've experienced, there seems to be a feeding aspect. I think you can tie kind of humans' path through what we would call the 7 deadly sins or that kind of thing, this downfall we see humans go through as that interaction, or very bluntly put, they get a parasite. And the parasites feed on anger or lust, sexual energy, the energy or mentality of anger, suicidal ideation, controlling people by isolating them, right? Driving them into places where they'll be constantly depressed. So it's almost like there's a parasite that treats human like cattle, right? And wants it alone so it can feed on it. And we've been calling them demons, right? And I think the theme throughout spiritual history, whether it be Buddha or Jesus, is that there are humans that awaken to the presence of God and become aware of these things. And these things try to fight their awakening as hard as possible, right? So for Jesus, it was Satan. He called it Satan. Satan means the adversary. For Buddha, it was Mara, right? It was this being that started feeding him images of demons attacking him, and when that didn't work, lust. The 3 demon women that came to tempt him sexually, and when he overcame it, he saw how miserable the creature was, and I think that's the key. These are probably a species with no psychology, no healing, that are wretched. Nisargadatta Maharaj said that evil is selfishness and stupidity. And I think these creatures are the very definition of selfishness and stupidity. So let me just tell you what I have found kind of works. First of all, being really, really aware, okay? Understanding that if you believe you are plagued by these things, your thoughts, right, may not be your own. They may be feeding you these thoughts, okay? Suicidal ideation. Instead of believing the thought, look at it. Listen to it. It's likely not yours, right? These compulsions towards addiction, listen to them. Be aware of them. If it's an addiction, burn it out, right? Addiction is actually just a craving that keeps coming up. So notice the craving. Let it burn out, right? So the first step is awareness. The second step that I've found that works really well is turning to God or gods, right? Because there is one God and it expresses itself in forms, right? So whether you call it Buddha, whether you call it Yahweh, there is one God. And that one God, as we saw with Jesus, expresses itself in form, right? So turning to God, to holiness, seems to be antithetic to this class of beings' existence. It seems to almost hate that, right? So what I've found is that purification, So whether through chanting mantras like the Maitreya mantra, Om Maitri, Maha Maitri, Maitriye Swaha, right? Or Om Binza Sattva Om, right? So Binza Sattva, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on us. Singing it, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on us. Singing amplifies, right? So letting go when you feel anger, let it go. Sing. When you feel an addiction, notice it, burn it out, purify. That seems to help in spiritual energy. Don't force spiritual energy because that can get ugly, but allowing God in total surrender, right? Because you step into surrender. Now it's up to a higher power to help you. But that seems to work. Getting out of the addiction, there seems to be food or caffeine that for whatever reason these beings like. And I think that's the other thing, is that these beings don't really have a life of their own. They're parasites. They want to live through you, right? They want to be addicted to things like nicotine, caffeine, those kinds of things through you, right? So cutting that off. Porn, cutting it off. Cigarettes, cutting it off, right? Just notice when the craving comes up, burn it out, cut it off, start eating healthy. So purification seems to be part and parcel of dealing with these things, noticing what it's doing, the thoughts, right? Those kinds of things. The thoughts it's putting in you, trying to compel you, the fear, the anger, the lust, right? The 7 deadly sins, right? Noticing them, letting them go. That's not me, right? Keeping the fear out. It's okay. God's got me, right? Letting it be there. Chant the mantras, sing the songs, return to holiness. I think that's the beginning step. And I pray for all of you, every single one of you that might be going through this. It's okay. Keep breathing. Turn to God and let God heal you and drive whatever these things out. I think this is going somewhere, and I think God's got our back. Love you guys.